Hello, we're excited to show you our native speech capabilities, where you can direct a voice, create realistic dialogue, and so much more. Edit these placeholders to get started. Today, history has taken an unexpected and dramatic turn. Reports emerging from Iran indicate that the country's supreme leader has been toppled following days of escalating unrest and internal political upheaval. For decades, he stood as the most powerful figure in the Islamic Republic, a symbol of authority whose decisions shaped Iran's political direction, military strategy, religious institutions, and international relations. His influence extended far beyond ceremonial leadership. He represented the core of the system itself. Now, that system appears to be facing one of the most defining moments in its modern history. While details remain limited and official confirmation continues to evolve, multiple sources suggest that mounting pressure, both from within the political establishment and from the streets, led to a dramatic shift in power. The removal of such a central figure marks the end of an era that has defined Iran for a generation. Inside Iran, uncertainty hangs in the air. Outside the country, especially in Los Angeles, home to one of the largest Iranian communities outside of Iran, thousands have taken to the streets. Some are celebrating what they see as the possible beginning of a new chapter. Others are watching cautiously, unsure of what this sudden shift could mean for their families and loved ones back home. For many Iranian Americans, this moment is deeply personal. It is not simply political news. It is about identity, history, and hope. For decades, the supreme leader held ultimate authority in Iran's unique political structure. He commanded the armed forces, oversaw the judiciary, influenced media narratives, and maintained significant power over both domestic and foreign policy. Presidents came and went, but ultimate decision-making power remained centralized at the top. However, over the past several years, Iran has faced increasing challenges. Economic sanctions strained the country's economy, inflation soared, the national currency weakened. Young people voiced frustration over limited opportunities and social restrictions. Protests periodically erupted in major cities, fueled by economic hardship and calls for greater freedoms. What appears to have unfolded this week may have been the culmination of years of pressure building beneath the surface. Reports suggest that tensions within Iran's political elite intensified in recent days. While the exact sequence of events remains unclear, sources describe a rapid power struggle behind closed doors. Whether this shift was driven by internal reformists, establishment figures, or security forces is still uncertain. State media coverage has been cautious and controlled. Independent observers describe confusion and fast-moving developments in Tehran. The absence of immediate clarity only adds to the gravity of the moment. For Iranians living abroad, especially in the United States, the reaction has been swift and emotional. In Los Angeles, often called Tehrangeles, crowds gathered in Westwood Boulevard. Some waved pre-revolution flags, others carried signs reading "Freedom for Iran" and "New Beginning." Cars drove through the streets honking horns. Strangers embraced one another. Music echoed late into the night. For older generations who left Iran decades ago, the images are overwhelming. Many remember the revolution of 1979. They remember hope, uncertainty, and the dramatic transformation that followed. Some now wonder whether history is repeating itself, or whether this time will be different. Younger Iranian Americans, many born and raised in the United States, see this moment as a potential turning point. They speak openly about dreams of a democratic Iran, a country with free elections, freedom of speech, expanded rights for women, and greater engagement with the international community. Social media platforms have been flooded with reactions. Videos of celebrations have circulated widely. At the same time, messages of caution have spread as well. Because transitions of power, especially in systems built around centralized authority, are rarely simple. Questions now dominate discussions in homes, cafes, and community centers. Who will take control next? Will there be an interim leadership council? Will the military play a decisive role? Could rival factions compete for dominance? Is there a risk of internal instability? For families with loved ones still living inside Iran, the uncertainty feels especially heavy. Phone calls are brief, internet connections are inconsistent, reliable information is difficult to verify. Hope and anxiety coexist. Internationally, world leaders are responding carefully. Officials in Washington have called for calm and stability. European leaders have urged restraint and a peaceful transition. Regional powers are closely monitoring developments, aware that any major shift in Tehran could reshape the geopolitical balance of the Middle East. Global markets have reacted cautiously. Oil prices fluctuate amid uncertainty about Iran's production and export policies. Investors are watching closely, understanding that political transformation in one of the key powers of the region can have reach-faring economic consequences. Iran occupies a strategic position, geographically, politically, and economically. Its influence extends across the Middle East. Any significant internal change could alter diplomatic relationships, security arrangements, and regional alliances. Experts remain divided about what comes next. Some analysts suggest that reformist figures within the political establishment may attempt to guide a controlled transition, introducing limited reforms while preserving institutional stability. Others warn that vacuums of power can create opportunities for hardline factions or military elements to consolidate control. History offers lessons, but no guarantees. Moments like this are unpredictable. They carry both extraordinary possibility and significant risk. For millions of Iranians around the world, this is not merely a headline. It is a moment that touches family histories, personal memories, and visions of the future. In homes across the United States, conversations stretch late into the night. Parents explain historical context to their children. Grandparents recall earlier revolutions. Young adults debate what real reform would require. There is celebration, yes, but there is also caution, because lasting change depends not only on removing a leader, but on building stable institutions, protecting civil rights, and maintaining national unity during transition. As events continue to unfold, one reality stands out clearly. Iran is standing at a historic crossroads. The coming days and weeks will determine whether this shift leads to democratic reforms, institutional restructuring, and expanded freedoms, or whether it triggers deeper instability and uncertainty. For Iranian Americans watching from afar, the emotions are complex. There is pride in resilience. There is hope for renewal. There is fear of chaos. There is longing for connection to a homeland that remains central to their identity. As the world watches Iran, history is being written in real time, and the final outcome remains unknown. Will this moment open the door to lasting transformation? Will it bring reconciliation and reform? Or will it mark the beginning of another turbulent chapter? Only time will reveal the answer. But tonight, across cities in the United States and beyond, one thing is undeniable. A chapter has ended. Another is just beginning. And the hopes and fears of millions hang in the balance.